Hey, what's up, everybody? This is another edition of Mitter Math, and I'd like to make a shout out to Joey. She told me I had to mention her name, so hey, Joey, go to bed. Today's lesson is going to be a little bit different, add a little different twist at the end, so let's take a look at it, and we'll see what we can do.
So I bet you've all looked in the mirror before and saw your reflection. So that's what we're going to look at in math. Reflections. Except it's not going to look like this guy. Another name for reflections, in the math world anyway, is a flip. So let's see what happens when we reflect something. So on this picture, it says, reflect the point P using the x-axis as a mirror line. So this means they want us to take this point right here and we want to reflect it over the x, meaning it's going to basically jump over the x-axis line, which is right here. And as you can see, we go from this P, you can see down here I've already made the P prime, so it basically goes from here straight down the line down below the x. So if we take a look at what the coordinate pairs would be, we would have 2, 2 as our original image. So 2 on the x, 2 on the y. And you'll notice that the 2 for the x stays the same because it doesn't move, but it becomes -2. So when we flip something over the x value will stay the same, and the y value just becomes its opposite. Okay, so in this slide, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to take, except the original image is down here in quadrant 3, and its original points will be -3. No, let me correct that. Joey, you're supposed to correct me. -4, -3, as you can see right there. And when we flip it or reflect it over the x, again, the x value is going to stay the same. So it's going to stay at -4, and our -3 is going to turn into its opposite, which is going to be +3. And if you take a look over here, there's -4 and -4 and +3. Just like that. How'd I do, Joey? So now we can get a little more complex, and we can take 3 images or 3 points and reflect all of those. So what we've done is we've taken image A, reflected it, again these are all over the x, so we can take A, and here's our A prime down here. It goes from -4, 3 to -4, -3. So the only one that changes is the y value, which becomes its opposite. B started at 5, 2. It reflects to 5, -2, as you can see there. Again, the y is the only thing that changes. And for the last one, C starts down here, which is 1, -4. So Joey, what do you think? It's probably going to be 1 and +4. Bam, just like that.
All right, so far, all we've done is reflect over the x with a bunch of points. So you're probably thinking, well, what else am I going to do? Well, let me tell you. What we're going to do now is we're going to take a look at reflecting an image. Bam.
So now we have a triangle sitting here with 3 points, and we're going to reflect this one. You can see it's been reflected. So the original image is going to be down here at A, B, and C, and we reflected it over the x.
Whoops, I just lost my slide. There we go. We reflected it over the x, and
basically when you have an image, it doesn't change anything because you're still reflecting the points, and then all we're going to do is connect the dots.
So the only thing that's really different here is the C, and where the C prime is here. We're just flipping this piece all the way up to here to change it just a little bit. So the A goes from 1, -1 to 1, +1. The B goes from 3, -2 to 3, +2. And C goes from 1, -3 to 1, +3. just like that. So again, remembering your x values don't change and your y values become their opposite. If you remember that, you should be fine. Okay, so now you're probably thinking, well, man, I'm probably done with this. But hey, I got 2 more slides left. So let's finish those up. All right. Okay, so now the difference here, instead of going over the x-axis, we're now going to reflect this over the y. So just one little change, that's all it's going to be. So here's our original at 3, 3. So when we flip it or reflect it over the y, instead of the x staying the same, the y value now is going to stay the same. So this goes from 3, 3, and if we flip it over the y, it's going to land on negative 3, 3. So you can see here, our x is the one that now changed, and our y stayed the same. So when we go over the y, or reflect it over the y, our x value is the one that's going to change. So on our last slide, we're going to reflect this image over the y. So here's our original right here, and we're going to reflect it over the y over to here. So again, now our x value changes and our y stays the same. So we go from negative 3, negative 2 to 3, negative 2. Our c value goes from negative 5, negative 4, and it goes to 5, negative 4. And our b value goes from negative 2, negative 5 to positive 2, negative 5. Connect the dots. Bam, Bob's your uncle. Okay, so now you're probably thinking, hey, I think we're done. But I got one little extra thing for you to check it out. So take a look at this last slide and listen to see if you can catch on. All right. Oh, and by the way, it's a little song, so hope it's not too corny. Okay, here it goes. Learning reflections can be easy, Learning reflections can be easy, When reflecting over the x-axis, change your y. Make it its opposite, it's easy as pie, Learning reflections can be easy, Learning reflections can be easy, Reflecting over the y-axis, change your x. Make it its opposite, it's easy as a text, Hope that wasn't too corny. And Joey, over and out.